Hey guys, Sean here with BlueRidgeSilverhound, and today we're going to explore coins of 1973. So if you found a coin that bears the date 1973, this is the place for you. Now this is going to be part of a new date series. It's going to be very comprehensive, probably a little bit longer than you guys want it to, but it's going to give you all the information that you need to know about your coins of this particular date. So this is the first one that I'm going to be covering. We're going to be covering raw coins. We're going to be covering graded coins, if that's your thing. But also talk and touch a little bit about varieties and errors as well. Because I'm happy to say, 1973, as kind of an odd date that it is, where you think there's not a whole lot to look for, there's actually quite a bit to be on the lookout for. And we're going to cover that in this video. Now, like I said, we're going to bookmark all of these type of videos into its one own kind of compartmentalized group. So that way, when you go into my videos, you can actually go into the channel and take a look at specifically, I think I'm going to end up calling it valuable coins by date. All right, and that's how I'm going to title that particular bookmark. So that way you guys can easily access it, and then you can just check it out by date. But the main idea in this video is we're going to take a look at each one of the denominations of coins that were produced during this year. We might even cover like specialty strikes like proof coins and special mint sets. So if you did come across some of these as well, we might even cover that if it's appropriate. Now, 1973 ran the entire gamut of denominations. You had a Lincoln cent, Jefferson nickel, Roosevelt dime, Washington quarter. There are even Kennedy half dollars and the large Eisenhower dollar, all produced in 1973. Business strike coins are typically coins that were produced and intended for circulation. These were the coins that the U.S. Mint had produced that either bore a P mint mark for Philadelphia or Denver, for which will show a little letter D somewhere on the obverse of the coin. So we are going to take a look first and foremost at the raw values. Now this is going to be a little bit tough because in this grouping it's also discussing graded coins. The major grading companies are PCGS, NGC, and Annex, and then soon we're going to see CAC, Certified Acceptance Corporation, as another company that will begin grading coins as well. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to see that sometime here this year in 2023. So one of my favorite websites that I personally like to use to gauge value of a coin is eBay, right? We're going to take a look at the most recent sales of each one of these coins, because obviously you guys need to understand where you're going to be at on these. Is it going to be worth selling it? Are these more valuable as a group? Are they more valuable graded? Now, these are things that you're going to have to understand. Grading costs a lot of money to do. All right, so if you're absolutely dead set on grading coins, you have to understand that it could cost anywhere from $20, $25 and up per coin to grade something. All right, whether that's a 1973 coin or one of any other date. So 1973, again, very obscure year, as far as, not a lot of people pay attention to it because it's such an odd date. But when we're looking at graded coins, obviously there's a certain grade level that you have to be at in order for these coins to have a monumental amount of value. So here we have a copper nickel clad Eisenhower dollar that's graded PCGS Mint State 67. Now it's sold for $26. That seems like a very low amount of money, but yet a very nice high grade. And it kind of is, in this particular case, the coin of this type probably isn't worth grading. All right, because by the time you factor in like a $25 grading fee, of course you have to ship the thing, and then you go to sell it for only $26. Where's all the money at? It's not there. Don't grade it. I always say that a lot of the modern coins, I would probably stay away from grading anyways. primarily because it's so expensive. Plus, there's such a huge kind of responsibility that's involved when you're grading, all right? You have to understand that it has to meet this certain expectation, and if it does anything less than that, you're pretty much toast. You're going to end up losing or wasting your money, and especially for those folks out there, some of you, that just want to sell your collection because it was handed down to you, and you don't want to deal with it anymore, okay, saving the money is going to be important. So continuing on down, again, we have our fair share of graded coins in the mix. We have our first just regular, what we call raw coin, a coin that is ungraded, that's sold here in 1973 Kennedy half dollar. As you guys know, face value of 50 cents, sold for $3.23. So even a raw coin that's sold for just over 6 times its face value doesn't have a whole lot of value. And when you're selling on eBay or any other site where fees are involved, you need to take into account fees. If it's too much trouble putting a coin up like this that's raw and ungraded up for sale, and you only sell it for a few bucks, again, it's going to be a waste of time. It might even be a waste of money. It's going to be a waste of your resources as well, because you're going to have to go out and buy tape, bubble mailers, and things to really protect the coin to ship it out first class. So you don't want to do that. Our first kind of like notable type of sale is going to be this 1973 S proof Ike dollar. It's a 40% silver composition. So again, the coins that have a little bit of silver in them are worth quite a bit of a premium these days, and this coin is ungraded. Now you'll know you have a proof because, first of all, it looks completely different than anything else you see coming out of Pocket Change, and number two, more than likely this is a coin that you probably have in a let's see if I have one here. I don't. I think I sold them all. I had a whole bunch of proof sets I ended up selling here recently. But a proof set will be in a hard case, and I'll have all the other denominations represented in there as well. So a completely different coin. These are generally more collectible than what face value is. So you're going to understand that a proof coin, especially the 40% silvers, are worth quite a bit more money in the marketplace. The regular copper nickel clad proof of that same coin, which is nickel and copper, are worth quite a bit less and might even be worth about $5-6 in today's market. Again, you really have to gauge if you feel like selling it online is going to be a worthwhile endeavor for you. They also did make a business strike or uncirculated 40% silver for the half dollar and the Eisenhower dollar as well for the 1973. So you guys need to know that as well. Again, they command a little bit of an extra premium on there. This is $17. It might be worth your trouble selling it. Or, if you're just trying to get rid of them, you could always sell them to a local dealer. They'll pay you whatever the appropriate amount of value is for the coin. If you didn't want to deal with, the 1099 form that eBay sends you at the end of the year. Here's a lot of Eisenhower dollars that are P and D mixed. Okay, there's a set of 12 of them that sold for $52. Again, if you have these in quantity and they're not together with all the other denominations, you could probably just go ahead and group them all together and sell them that way. You could realize the full potential of the market. So there's a lot of Eisenhower dollars here. Here's a Kennedy half dollar mint set coin, $3. Again, probably not worth selling it as is. Most people generally pop them out of the packaging and deposit them into the bank. If that's your thing, you want to do that and you have a lot of it, just go ahead and do that, I would say. Although there will be people that will be butthurt by saying that, but the facts are the facts. If they don't carry a ton of value, why waste your time listing it on eBay and doing all that stuff? So we understand that the 40% silvers have value. The actual individual proof sets tend to sell for between $8 to $10. Singular Lincoln cents, sell for $1. I very rarely do I sell them for more than that. Personally, I don't sell them at all. Even full BU rolls, which are 50 in a roll, sell for like $5. They're really not that expensive. So the individual coins, I would say try and avoid selling those raw online. If you're just doing like onesie twosies, you're really not going to get a whole bunch of money. The Eisenhower dollars, people love the large size dollars that the premium struck ones and the silvers always command a little bit more of a market for those. Mid sets, which have both P and Ds, again, you're looking at about $8 to $10 for each of those respectively. Again, most people will cut them open, they'll deposit all of the lower denomination stuff and tend to keep the Eisenhower dollars separate from that. And people have actually had decent success selling a P&D set of the Eisenhower dollars for around $10, as more of a collectible type of issue than it is just sending to the bank. Because people do that. Let's see what else we have here. See, some more circulated Lincolns. Again, the actual face value is 1 cent, but of course you guys know that these are copper and people are saving their copper. They have a value of around 2 cents, so please do keep that in mind, even for a very well-worn copper penny. 2 cents. Some people like doing that. Some people find it a waste of time. It's whatever. Here's again, be wary about grading any of these coins, because here's a Mid-State 66 graded nickel that sold for altogether $6.50 here just within the last day. I mean, is that worth it, ladies and gentlemen? No. And that's a very nice high grade too. It's just not a full steps or anything like that. Which is what most collectors care about. But as you can see, very low, minimal type of values on a lot of the coins. Even some of the more collectible sets and things, you have to be careful that you're not giving these away because it's going to be really easy to do so. Here's a gem 73D candy $half that sold for $5. I tend to don't like selling anything underneath $5 on eBay because again, you have to factor in the fees and shipping. It's just not going to be worth it in the long run. But there you go. That's kind of a brief look at things here. As far as all the coins, there's someone got a really good deal on the 73, and no, they are not rare. And when they don't have a mint mark, that means that they were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. So the coins that have no mint mark whatsoever on them are Philadelphia minted issues. The coins that have a D mint mark on them are from the Denver Mint, and the little S is San Francisco. That's where a lot of your specialty strikes are from. Now in the Lincolns, they did produce a business strike S Mint coin. All right, again, they don't contain any sort of real premium on them. People will pay $1 or $2 on them because they need them for an album. All right, but outside of that, they're not rare. They're high mintage. They're worth, I would say, 1 cent, unless you really want to go through the extra time and effort to sell these on eBay and, after it's all said and done, kind of feel bad afterwards because, well, it's just a waste of time. And, I don't personally like doing that. Eisenhower dollars is the one thing that I think you guys need to know about as far as raw coin value. That's pretty much it. Selling BU coins on here, that's fine, for a few bucks. But again, people buy those because they need them either for like a typeset or they need them for an album. All right. And then that's generally why they justify the $2 to $3 sale price. So make sure you guys are aware of that. All right, so the next thing that we're going to talk about here are going to be errors, okay? And I'm happy to say that there are a number of very cool errors. A lot of them are quite rare, actually. Like, we're back on eBay. These are the coins that are currently available that haven't sold, so they have some sort of price tag attached to it. Whether or not they're actually worth that remains to be seen, but we do know that there is quite a bit of value here. So we have a 1973 proof Kennedy half dollar that was struck in a also with a copper planchet right on top of it. So they call it a bonded pair, where you have two planchets that are stuck together in the striking chamber. All right, the strike takes place, or occurs rather, and then both coins are stuck together. All right. So in this case, this particular coin right here, as you can see, has a very dramatic looking effect where that copper planchet is right on there, and it looks like it could pop off at any moment if you wanted it to. But yeah, this looks like it's on the proof Candy $half as well, so that's kind of extraordinary. And again, this is something that's quite rare. This is a rarity, a white whale of sorts, and this is something that you really don't see too much of out there. Again, this is what appears to be a proof coin, and it is. Proof 67 shows that this is a proof set find right there. So quite interesting, very expensive, $40,000. I have no doubt in my mind that this coin is a 5-figure coin all day long. Here's another one here, unique mated pair, 1973 S Candy half, die piece and obverse die break, $20,000. It's even been graded in one of these handy dandy double holders here. So you have the little piece that I guess bonded or fallen out or something, and then there's the actual full coin right there. Again, another proof coin. That things like this are kind of an anomaly. You just don't see these that often, unless you found a proof set with something interesting going on there. And then that's where it really counts. So yeah, the proof errors of these dates are really quite scarce. This one right here, someone thought they had something, but really don't. Extremely rare, 73 Abraham Lincoln brown penny, no mint mark. Of course, you guys, made in Philadelphia. That's what the no mint mark means. So no mint mark means Philadelphia. All right. Here's another 73S. This is it says massive deep cut, obverse die break. This is actually a really neat one right here. Piece of the die had broken off. So when it's striking up coins, all the metal flow goes into that empty cavity on the die, producing this raised anomaly event that you see here. Again, another proof. Very, very, very interesting proof strike right here. This is something that's been found a few times. This is not a one-time event on this coin, and a few of these have sold in the past. This one is available for $2,300. All right, so continuing on down, again, more people think that they have something but really don't. And this is the kind of video that they need to see to understand if they have something that's valuable. Like this coin here has what they call ring of death, that circular damage on the face of the coin. This was a roll ender at one point. So that little thumb that crimps the paper of a paper roll made contact with a coin, and it did that damage. All right, and a lot of people just don't know about that. So again, a couple normal looking Philadelphia minted coins. This one here, wow, a must see, 1973S, no S mint mark proof. It's not a proof. That is a business strike coin. It doesn't have the mirrored surfaces or the cameo contrast, that frosting on the devices to make that a proof. That one was minted in Philadelphia. That one is worth 2 cents. You guys saw I was going to say 1 cent, but it's 2 cents there. Let's see. I don't know if this is anything right here. Normally a rarity, a rare coin of an error or variety, you certainly should get those graded. All right, I'm just going to say that. If it's even in the proof set, crack open the proof set, get it graded. If you feel like that it's anything worthwhile, like the first few coins that we saw on this list, grade them, and then, that's it. It'll be worth a whole lot more money graded than it is raw for some of those higher echelon pieces. But as you can see, eBay is rife with a bunch of non-errors. People are throwing things up on here, just asking whatever ridiculous amount of money that they're asking for. I've already looked at every single one of these coins before I went onto this video, and have come to the conclusion that they're either damaged, they're Philadelphia minted coins, because they have no mint mark. Okay, so make sure you don't make that mistake. That's why you guys are here. Finding out that a coin with no mint mark really does mean that it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. They didn't put P mint marks on Lincoln cents except for 1 year, ladies and gentlemen, and that's 2017. And the only reason why they did that is because it's the 225th anniversary of the Philadelphia Mint. And so they did that as kind of a tribute and a one-off type of event for the 2017s. So that's the only outlier in all of this. Same with nickels. If it has no mint mark, then it's a Philadelphia coin. This one pretty cool here, 1973 D. This is a quarter that was struck on a nickel planchet. This is the real deal, guys. This is an actual real error. And there's the graded holder. Again, if you suspect you have something like this, grade it. All right. Spending the $30 to grade this error through NGC is going to be worth it. And it's going to give people the peace of mind that actually specialize in U.S. Mint errors, and that's quite a big group. They'll pay you all the money in the world if it's in a graded holder already. All right. But that's for the more major errors like this one here. So when we look at the coin, obviously the coin is cut off on the edge, which means the planchet is a lot smaller prior to when this was struck. And you're going to have a coin that is a little bit smaller than the standard traditional size of a quarter. All right, pretty neat error. These things do pop up on occasion in mint sets and BU rolls and things like that. So always be on the lookout. If you have a coin that's a little bit smaller than what its intended denomination is supposed to be, and it's a little bit kind of like cutting off some of the design, the letters around the edge, you have something right there for you. All right, so yeah, very beautiful looking error. I like that one a lot. Let's see if we have anything else out there. By the way, do not hold your coins with metal tongs. All right, I cringe every time I see that. A coin for sale that says just look at pics. I am not buying for 1 second that it is anything great because of this. All right, just look at pics because that doesn't tell us anything. As you can see, yeah, there's a lot of stuff on here that aren't particularly cool or neat. I will end it off on, as far as errors go, on this 1973 Ike dollar that is in a mint set. And I'm happy to say that this is actually something pretty neat here. This is actually a coin with a little bit of a strike through. You can see that some of the letters in Liberty is missing. A strike through just means that there was some sort of foreign object or material on the dies prior to the coin being struck. In this case, a little bit of that black oxide grease was on the obverse die prior to the strike of this one. So when it has to strike the pressure through that grease, it's going to keep a very weakened strike in certain areas because it has to push through that thick grease, and it's not going to be able to strike up any of the design in that particular area where the grease is sitting. Now, is it worth $1,000? Could be. I mean, this is on an Ike dollar. Any sort of error on an Ike dollar traditionally commands a pretty hefty premium. Don't know if it's $1,000. I wish a seller luck in this case. That's a very interesting coin. Yeah, they didn't grade it, and I think that's okay here. But all in all, this is something that's pretty neat, and, it's too bad it's not more struck through. It'd be worth a lot more money, probably close to what they're asking here. But we'll see if this sells, but that's pretty cool. Again, keep an eye out for stuff like that because they have value. All right, the last thing we're going to talk about is graded coins. So you guys are aware, 1973 is not typically a date that people would just go out of the way to grade. Because again, grading carries a pretty big cost to it. That if you were to grade every single coin that came across your hands, you would end up filing for bankruptcy pretty early on in your life. So don't do that. Understand how much these coins are valued at when they're sold. I like using great collections because they deal in a lot of what I call registry caliber type of coins. Okay, that traditionally means very high graded moderns. All right, and when we're looking at some of these values here, $2 here for a Mint State 65 red business strike. Even the proof coins, not a lot of value there. Here's a Mint State 67 red of a business strike, $158. You would almost have to have it graded at a 67 or higher. Anything less than that, you lose out pretty big. And then, PCGS, that's where it's at. So if you grade it through PCGS and it comes out at a 67 or higher, that's where the coin is worth the most amount of money for a Lincoln cent. Like this one sold on February 12th of this year for over $1,000. So that's where we're at there. All the other coins, ladies and gentlemen, are worth a few bucks here and there. By the time you factor in the cost of grading these coins, it's not going to be worth it. So that's Lincoln cents. Here are nickels. Again, same versus the first. Very low values. Mint State 65, 66s, even with full steps, only worth $26. They say full steps all the way for nickels. That's where it's going to be worth the most. But again, looking at these realized prices, and again, these are all recent valuations, ladies and gentlemen, within the last 2-3 months. And as you can see, very low values here. Again, it would have to be a Mint State 67. That's it, yeah. Mint State 67 or higher with full steps in order for it to be worth a few $100, like right here. NGC, Mint State 67, 5 full steps, toned, $335. It's really not a whole lot of money. Again, that's probably here's a deep cameo proof 70, which is a perfect grade. 70 is the highest grade you can achieve in the Sheldon grading system. $9,000. So you need perfection, but if you don't have it, the coin's not worth anything. So it's worth a few bucks, but there's no safety net when it comes to modern coin grading. You either have to achieve the top grade level or better in order for it to be worth something. But if it's not there, be careful. That this is not something that you should just willy-nilly, participate in because, you see $9,000. They're like, yeah, my coin's $9,000. Because 99.9999% of the time, your coin will not grade that. The graders have a very strict level of kind of understanding when it comes to the top-end grades of these coins. So they're just not going to throw out and grant a proof 70 on that coin for you, because they feel like it. It has to meet a certain requirement. Dimes are they're my least favorite. Again, Mint State 67 for the business strikes with full bands is where you need to be. PCGS graded $460 is about as high as we're going to get here for dimes. Dimes aren't just as well collected. Here's a proof 70. $675, nowhere close to where that nickel is. And that's kind of like showing the disparity between the importance of nickels in the hobby and dimes. People just don't really care enough about dimes these days. Here's quarters here. Quarters showing, again, the same low values. Again, you gotta be careful. Proof 69, quarter $16. All right, Mint State 67 is where you need to be for the coin to even be worth at least $200. And sometimes we're going to look at that and we're like, man, that's just not worth it. Because if you don't get that 67 or higher, you've lost money there. All right, you're not going to be able to sell the coin and recoup your value, if you ended up with a Mint State 66. So unfortunately, stay away from grading quarters if you can. Here's half dollars, a little bit better, proof 70s. Here's one that sold for $1,500 back in March 12th. Let's see if we can find here's a Mint State 65 Denver that sold for $14. That's a very respectable amount of money. Respectable enough that you don't want to grade them. Again, you need to be at least a Mint State 67 for a coin to be worth anything. Here's one that sold for $171 on Christmas Day. I would stay away from grading these things as well, because if it's not going to be 67 plus or higher, it's just not worth it. And then finally, the Ike dollar is the most exciting of the few coins. A proof 70 deep cameo, $700. Again, it seems to me that the nickel is the crown jewel of this particular date when it comes to proof coins. But check out even the Mint State Business Strike coins. Here's a couple of them that sold for around $20 this past weekend. Here's a 73 silver that sold for $63. Exciting stuff, guys. Another Proof 70 sold for just under $700. Again, you need that perfect 70, and that's it. That's the end of the world there. But overall, again, very lackluster sales from both Proof and Business Strike coins. Enough so that I would avoid grading any of these coins except maybe that Proof Jefferson nickel of this date, because if you scored a Proof 70, that is a mighty expensive coin. There must not be too many of them in the population figures. You know, that's why we're seeing just unbelievable, just incredible prices on that particular coin. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about in this video. 1973 coins. Hopefully you guys got quite a bit of information that you need to make an informed decision on that one 1973 coin that you found in Pocket Change. You're going to see that it's probably not worth selling. It's probably not worth grading. And, you know, it would just make a great hole filler for an album, or you could just send it back to the bank. Whatever you want to do. But anyways, that's going to go ahead and do it for this one. 1973 coins worth money? Not really. Go ahead and spend them. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the hobby. And thank you guys for tuning in to my video. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content. Keep tabs on more of these videos of specific date coins, because some of them have a lot more value than you realize. You just need to know about it. So thank you guys again. Enjoy the hobby, and I'll see you next time with more coin videos.